Could you spare half an hour a week to help a child to reach their full potential? My name's Christine. I started to work with MentorLink about 4 years ago. I joined MentorLink because I found I had some extra time on my hands, and I answered an advertisement in the local newspaper asking for volunteers. I thought perhaps my experience as a mother with 3 grown-up children, alongside the training that they would offer me, would render me a suitable applicant. I went to the induction course and soon had my first mentee. I think, of all the mentees I've worked with to date, she probably proves the most inspiring. I remember our first session. Hello, Eve. I'm Christine. Come and sit down. It's nice to meet you. How's your morning going?
It's okay.
Good. I'm sorry about the little space here. They always seem to shove us into a corner somewhere. Before we start, I need to explain to you about MentorLink's confidentiality agreement. That just means that anything you say to me will be completely confidential. I won't tell anybody anything you said. It's just between the two of us. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Good. But if you did say something that made me think perhaps you were in danger or that put someone else in danger, I would have to report that. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. Well, I am pleased to meet you. I'm sure we're going to be good friends. I think we've got a lot to learn from each other. Before we start, shall we play a little game? I noticed when she came into the room that Eve kept her head tucked well down, only lifting it occasionally when she spoke. I knew from the brief I'd received that she was not a very confident person and that her teachers had referred her to MentorLink for that very reason. I was sure that if only I could get through to Eve, I could really help her. I've suffered from a lack of confidence myself. As the weeks went on, I learned more about Eve's background and how she was from a reconstituted family whereby her parents had 3 children together and a couple more, each with new partners. Eve didn't see her dad that often, and he kept letting her down. She said that she was more like a carer for her mother and that she didn't like her stepfather much as he blamed her for things that went wrong in the house. She told me that both her older sister and her mother had mental health issues, and so Eve, being the most capable female, was expected to look after the house and younger siblings, of which the youngest had autism. She had to do the tea when her stepfather came home from work, therefore wasn't able to stay at school for any after-school activities. Eve said she felt like she was tied to the house except for school time, and she was missing out as she didn't have much of a social life, although she was allowed to go into town with her friends on Saturday mornings, as long as the chores were done first. So, would you be happy to see me again next week?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Excellent. Same time and same place. I hope you have a lovely week. It's been lovely to meet you, and thanks for making me laugh.
It's okay.
In a later session, I took along a pack of cards in case we couldn't think of things to say to each other. Eve really enjoyed winning at Cheat. In fact, she was soon actively enjoying herself. I asked her if she knew a game that she could show me. By letting her teach me something really helped to improve her confidence. Well, that, and if I taught her the game and then she beat me. Slowly, over time, Eve's appearance started to change, along with her confidence. And I noticed one day that she was wearing makeup and her hair was in a new style. She was pleased when I told her how nice she looked. During our sessions, we talked about her career choice, which was childcare. We looked through the options booklet together, discussing subjects and whether she thought it would help her later on if she got a childcare qualification. For her mock exams, I helped her to devise a study programme which included all the things she had to do with the house and giving her time for herself, which was in short supply. This seemed to give her a boost. Eventually, Eve went on exam leave. for which she devised a study timetable of her own. She was very proud to show it to me. It incorporated all the elements that we'd put into her mock exam timetable, and it was an impressive piece of work. It came to our last session. I wished her the best of luck with her exams and for the future, and we parted company. Now, you might think this is the end of the story, but no. About 2 years went by. Oh, Eve went away to college while I had other mentees, of course. Eve had managed to get the grades that she needed to go on to the childcare course that she wanted to study. And then I happened to bump into her in town. She saw me and she came over to me with all her friends in tow. This was not the same child that I'd mentored 2 years before. She was so happy and so confident. She told me that she'd really enjoyed coming to talk to me each week. She was getting near to the end of her course now, and she had several interviews in the pipeline. She said that she was quite sure that without Mentor Link, her life would have been very different. I thanked her for her kind words, and we said our goodbyes. But I must admit, did leave me with a tear in my eye. Oh, I've had other successes since then, of course. None of them have affected me quite so much, though they are all important. And it just goes to show that without just that half an hour a week, some children might never have the courage to reach out and gain their full potential. I'm very proud to have helped Eve to secure such a strong future for herself. Long may this charity continue to support young people.